Imagine this: samurai warriors with European muskets, Portuguese priests debating Buddhist monks, and Japanese silk sailing across oceans to reach European courts. This is not fantasy. This is the real story of how feudal Japan collided with Renaissance Europe, in trade, in culture, and in faith. Let's unravel the wild tale of Japan-Europe relations in the Middle Ages, with swords, spices, and some surprising twists. It all began in 1543, when a Chinese junk with 3 Portuguese traders accidentally drifted ashore on Tanegashima Island. What did they bring? Firearms. Firearms, the Tanegashima matchlock. The Tanegashima matchlock, Japan's first gun, sparked more than just gunpowder. The daimyo, Japan's warlords, immediately realized the game-changing power of these weapons. Within a decade, Japan went from zero to mass-producing matchlocks. By 1600, Japanese gunsmiths were manufacturing more firearms than any European country at the time. And guess what? It wasn't just about weapons. Those Portuguese weren't just traders, they were also missionaries. Enter Francis Xavier, a Jesuit priest who arrived in 1549. His mission? Convert Japan to Christianity. And he wasn't laughed out of town. In fact, Japanese elites found the new religion intriguing. Over 300,000 Japanese converted to Christianity within 50 years. Jesuits even learned Japanese, dressed like monks, and used local customs to appeal to the people. They also brought Western science, medicine, and philosophy, all of which fascinated the Japanese intellectual elite. Some daimyo accepted Christianity for strategic reasons. They wanted good relations with Portuguese traders. More trade equals more guns equals more power. Simple math. But not everyone was thrilled. Now let's talk goods. Europeans wanted Japanese silver, lacquerware, ceramics, and katana steel. The Japanese wanted guns, clocks, glassware, and exotic items like tobacco and chocolate. Yes, seriously. The Portuguese and later the Dutch and Spanish became regular visitors at ports like Nagasaki, which turned into a buzzing international trade hub. And here's the kicker. By the early 1600s, Japan had established a vast Red Seal ship system, officially licensed by the shogunate, sending Japanese traders as far as Thailand, Vietnam, and even Mexico. This wasn't a one-sided exchange. Japanese art, like ukiyo-e woodblock prints, would later influence European artists like Van Gogh and Monet. Even something as simple as tempura, yes, your favorite fried shrimp, has Portuguese origins. But then, the shutters came down. In 1639, Japan enacted the Sakoku Edict. The country would isolate itself from the world for over 200 years. Why? The shogunate feared European colonization, like what they saw happening in the Philippines. They also feared Christianity would undermine their rule, and they were right. There were rebellions, most notably the Shimabara Rebellion, which involved many Christian peasants. After that, foreigners were banned, Christianity was outlawed, and Japanese couldn't leave the country. Only one small window remained, the tiny man-made island of Dejima near Nagasaki, where the Dutch were allowed to trade, under strict surveillance. And so, for 2 centuries, Japan became a mystery to the West, a sealed box of samurai and secrets. But even during isolation, the legacy of that early contact remained. Japanese clocks were based on European designs. Language absorbed words like pan, meaning bread, from Portuguese. Medical texts in Dutch became the foundation of Rangaku or Dutch learning. which kept Western science alive in Edo, Japan. When Japan reopened in the 19th century, it didn't start from scratch. It picked up where it left off, and rocketed forward. So next time you see a samurai film or eat a crispy tempura snack, remember, feudal Japan wasn't as isolated as you think. It was part of a global web of trade, religion, and culture, with muskets in one hand and poetry in the other. If you want more forgotten chapters of Asian history, hit that like button and subscribe to Silk&Steel. Because history isn't boring, it's badass.